Hey guys, what's up? iBubbas here. Going over some builds and things that I think you would enjoy or that would be super powerful for starting out the league. Now, what do I mean by starting out the league? Basically, a lot of these builds are going to be budget friendly, really easy to play for newer people, people that have maybe only played one or two leagues and maybe are just looking for something different. Or just something to get a really good foothold on the league, which means farming Uber Lab, farming maps really easily, to just build up a little bit of currency the first week or so that you can make whatever you want at that point. Or you can just put all the money into these characters to make them better, and most of them can do most in-game content as well, with a little added currency. So yeah. I'm pretty excited about the new upcoming league. So I've just been browsing through, trying to figure out what I'm going to play, and trying to hunt down some stuff that I think a bunch of you guys would like and enjoy as well. So, one of the first things I found was either Glacial Cascade or Flame Blast Totem. And as usual, I'll put all the links down to all these builds and everything in the description, so if there's one you guys like, you can just click on it and go straight to it. But I found this, the Pizza Sticks Flame Blast Totem. Really nice build, put together nicely. Yeah, Flame Blast Totem or Glacial Cascade Totem, either one of those are super powerful builds. Really good with the Hierophant. So yeah, I think this will be a pretty good starting build for anybody looking to just farm maps. Maybe Glacial Cascade would be a little easier for some newer people, as this one I think requires a little more cast speed if I'm not mistaken, but you know, still a very good build, I think, for starting out in the new league. Next we have everybody's favorite, the Juggernaut. A lot of people make a Juggernaut at the start to farm Uber Lab. And here's a nice build I found using On's Might Midnight Blade. It looks really good, really fun. I actually almost picked to play a Juggernaut this time around, but I decided not to. But yeah, Juggernauts are really nice Uber Lab farmers. Farming Uber Lab is really good at the start of a league, and most Uber Lab farmers can do maps fairly easy as well. Some can even do like in-game content, like this one, you know, says Shaper and in-game stuff. So, you know, getting to do that Uber Lab pretty quick at the start and just running it over and over again can get you some good currency. So farming Uber Lab is something that's really good at the start of a league. It's something I plan to do as well. Which is why I almost went Juggernaut. Next is Ancestral Warchief Totem. Some people don't like Totem builds again, but I love Totem builds. I think they're fun. And I'm actually going to be playing a variant of Ancestral Warchief Totem, which I'll talk about later. But this Scion build I thought looked really nice for Totems, and pretty much all the ascendancies got buffed, but Scion's in a really good place because there's just so much to choose from. So yeah, I thought this build looked really good. Like I said, Totems are really easy to play at the start of a league, so this should be no exception. And you should be able to farm maps and stuff pretty easy with Warchief Totems. Next is, no surprise, for Witch, Spectres, or Summon Raging Spirits. This is a nice Spectre build. Necro's just got so much better stuff this season, or this ladder, so yeah. Spectre's still really good. Summon Raging Spirits still really good. If you don't want to go with this exact build, you know, just go to the Witch thread and look for summoners. Like I said, SRS, Summon Raging Spirits, always really good. I've made a couple of those and a couple Spectre builds, and they're really good. Most usually you actually, on most Spectre builds, you actually farm with SRS until you get all the stuff to do the Spectres, so it's really good, really amazing build to get a lot of stuff done. So they're really good for league starters because it doesn't take much to get them up and going, and you can just demolish the end game. So next is a build or a character that I play a lot, which is a Slayer Cyclone. I love Cyclone, and Offak's Crimson Cyclone build I think is one of the best out there in my opinion. I've actually played this build a couple times. I think I actually have one right now, level 88. Has a Hezmana's Axe, Comb's Heart, Devotee's Devotion, you know, some nice stuff. I really like this build. And yeah, I think Offak did a great job putting the build together. So check this out if you want a Cycloner. Cyclone's really good for in-game. Flying through maps. You can just fly through maps with Cyclone. And now there's some updates to physical reflect, to where you're basically immune to it, so you can even do physical reflect maps now. Now before, with my previous Cycloners, I've made a ton of Cyclone builds, by the way. Previously with my Cycloners, I was still able to kind of do Phys Reflect maps. It was a little slower, a little harder, but it was possible. But now it's pretty much going to be like any other map because you're immune to Phys Reflect, so why not? So yeah, check out this build. Slayer's super fun, easy to play. Cyclone's an amazing skill. So now we're going to get into what I have decided to play. First off, I've been playing around with Warchief Totems, as I was mentioning before, and this is what I was playing as, was a Berserker Marauder. And I was a really good build. This is a really great build that I was playing with the Dyed Bellow, the Kondo's Pride, Belt of the Deceiver, Comb's Roots, just tearing stuff up with these Warchief Totems. Ancestral Warchief. Really fun in my opinion. I like totem builds. I used to play Spark back in the day, and I love going dual Spark Totem. So I was thinking I wanted to play this, but I kind of wanted to play Slayer again. But Slayer doesn't work really well with the totems because, because you don't really leech or anything. You can't leech from the totem, so there's no point to go Slayer. But one thing I always really loved was Champion, right? So I was like, oh man, like playing Champion, especially with some of the new buffs to Champion, would probably be really good. So I was looking at going Champion Duelist, since I wanted to play Slayer anyway. I figured I'll just play Champion. So I started making a build, but then while I was looking around at a bunch of other builds, I actually found that Lifting already has a Warchief Totem build up. If you guys don't know who Lifting Nerd Bro is, he's on YouTube. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel. Since I'm pretty much for the most part gonna use his build, I may make a few little changes, just minor changes that will probably suit my playstyle a little more than his. But yeah, make sure you check him out on YouTube. He makes amazing videos. And yeah, I was excited to find this this guide that he had made, and this is actually what I have right now. I actually changed my skill tree a little bit. I did have this health node up here instead of this stuff down here, and one thing I had overlooked was Rampart. I totally forgot about Rampart. Rampart's a super good node for Champion especially. Because you get Fortitude, or Fortify all the time from Fortitude. So I didn't have that, and I'm like, that's really good. Another thing that Lifting had on his build that I didn't have on mine was Blood Magic. And at first I was thinking, well, maybe I'll still leave that off. Maybe I don't want blood magic. I'll find some other way to get some mana, or maybe I'll just use blood magic. But I was like, you know what? It's been a long time since I've used or played a blood magic build, so I'll just leave it. So I ended up looking over his skill tree and pretty much just, I'm pretty sure my tree now is pretty much identical to his. You know, of course, I already had Amplify. Amplify's super good. And obviously I had Ancestral Bond and Resolute Technique. I've been wanting to go Swords, and the reason I want to go Swords is because I really want a Star Forge. If you've never seen a Ancestral Warchief Totem with a Star Forge, like, you are in for a treat, because it looks awesome. So I'm like, yeah, I would love to have a Star Forge for this build. So that's kind of my goal this season, is to play this build and get a Star Forge for it. So yeah, this build should be great for Uber Lab farmer. I think, yeah, he even says in Lifting's lab that it's a Uber Lab farmer. So should be great for farming Uber Lab and pushing maps. And hopefully with a lot of the new changes, like just tons of added armor, 100% taunt now. And one of the major things I saw that I thought was going to make this really good was in the patch notes. It said that now even a lot of higher tier guys like the Shaper, Elder and stuff can be taunted, which is going to be really good. Now granted, they're still going to be targeting you, but, you know, whereas usually they would target your totems, but now they're probably still going to target you, but they're going to actually have that taunt buff on them, right? So that way you get all the stuff from your taunt from your champion ascendancy, which is going to be great, I think, and probably make it a lot easier to farm those like high-end bosses and stuff. So yeah, I think it'll be a pretty good build to start out with, and hopefully eventually I'm going to try to get up to farming the Guardians with it, and hopefully take down Shaper. Hopefully I can pump enough DPS out to take down Shaper. I'll probably need some pretty good gear for that, but I mean, that's what it's all about, you know, getting a build that you can start with a bunch of rares essentially, and then just slowly build up. Like my current build, I'm gonna probably get a Kondos Pride again since I'm going Sword. Belt of the Deceiver, I'll probably try to get Combs Roots once I get enough resist on the rest of my gear. I probably won't go with the Dyed Bellow. I'll probably go with the Devotee's Devotion helmet, because I really had this because I cast a lot of War Cries with this Marauder. This was also a really good build because you healed yourself with your War Cries. And that's why I had the Dyed Bellow, because you get that nice attack and movement speed and cast speed while you're War Crying. But that probably won't be as good on my champion Slayer or my champion Duelist. So, but as for the other stuff, you know, I'll probably try to get a Kondos Pride pretty early, because that'll just immensely help out having a high DPS weapon. You know, until then though, I'll probably just roll around with a rare. And that's what's so good about this skill tree, is you get a lot of two-handed damage early on going Duelist, so you don't have to worry about, like, if you find a maul, use a maul. If you find an axe, use an axe. You know, matter of fact, while leveling up, you'll probably want to use like Cleave or Sunder or something like that, until you get up to Ancestral Bond. So yeah, I think this will be a fantastic build for farming Uber Lab and stuff early on, and maybe even push into the higher levels and get myself a Star Forge. You know, worst case scenario, I'll have to buy a Star Forge before I can farm Shaper. But, you know, once I can start killing Shaper, it doesn't matter. I'll make the money back. So, and hopefully try out that new Elder fight with this. I will be playing softcore, so, you know, I may go a little YOLO at some of the stuff just for fun. But if for the most part, it seems like a really fun build. Like I said, been playing around with the Ancestral Warchief Totems, and I think they're going to be great. Really fun build to play. So there's my list of builds. Again, I'll leave links in the description to everything. So if you guys like something that you see, you can go there and give them a try. And basically just kind of have fun at the start of the season. And yeah, good luck to everybody starting out. Hope you get a lot of currency. If you have any questions or comments or want to know anything about any build, just give me a comment down in the comment section below. I try to answer everything on my videos, so you know, if there's even a build you were thinking of playing and you just want my comments on it, you know, comment down below and I'll take a look at your build even, and I'll tell you what I think about it. So yeah, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure to hit that bell icon so you get the notifications when all my videos go live. And yeah, I'll be seeing you guys in 3.2.0 Bestiary League. Catch you guys later.